Hey guys, welcome back. We are on day 3. So, oh my gosh, yesterday was a huge day. I just want to say congratulations. It's exciting. Hopefully you're having some conversations, talking to people, and yeah, just getting to know their stories, because this is a big part of our job, is connecting with people and building real relationships. Seriously, you're going to come to find your best friends. And what's really cool is you can all become more successful together, and that's what makes this business amazing. So yeah, welcome to day 3. We're going to be talking about social media and finding your brand. Now, I went on and on and on and on. I don't know if you saw the file, but it's like 80 pages long. But what I wanted to do, don't be scared. What I wanted to do was share with you just some tips kind of going forward. And, you know, as you get to learn more about social media, it's always changing. So the thing is, don't feel like you have to know everything, because even me, I'm like, just last week, I was like, oh my gosh, now I know how to make events and private message everybody, and it makes it a lot easier. So that's, you know, something you're going to learn over time as well. And we're going to give you tips and tricks. I think I'm going to be doing that tomorrow, actually. But today is all about finding your brand, because, for me anyway, I think a lot of you guys, you know, we probably know each other through my brand, which is, you know, think about it. I love coffee. I love my husband, Eddie. I love to travel. I love Zumba. I teach Zumba and Sanity Pound. So I've been involved in fitness for a long time. Love nail polish. I love pets, animals, and I love friends super hard. I love Jesus. I love traveling. I do personal development, and yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I love the beach. Did I already mention that? I probably love it even more, just mentioning it twice. So anyway, that is kind of what I share then on social media, because that's who I am. So for you, I want you to take this time to write down your 5 to 10 things that represent you. And if you're like, I don't know who I am or what I like, ask your best friend, ask your spouse. You know, what you are is what attracts people to you. A lot of times people think when they get involved with an online business or they own another business that that's all they ever post about. And even for me, before I got into Beachbody coaching, I realized that all I was posting about was Zumba all day, every day, telling people when to go to my class. Hey guys, I'm teaching again. Hey guys, I'm teaching again. Hey guys, come to my class. Here's when I'm teaching. And it was so annoying. I was realizing like all I was doing was spamming my Facebook. I wasn't building real relationships. So this is what's really cool, because now we get to build a relationship and not be spammy. If you're a fellow instructor like I was, or maybe you're just like, I didn't even show up on social media. That's okay. You will start and you will grow. So if you're like, I haven't posted anything since, you know, yesterday, you made me post that scary thing. And then you're like, I haven't posted a week before that. Then what we do is we start with a goal. Post 1 time a day for the first week or 2. And then we're going to up that to 2 times, then to 3 times. Ideally, you know, top coaches are posting anywhere between 3 times to 6 or 7 times. And that just depends on how much time you have to devote to this business. But again, it is all about your brand. I'm going to go through the top 12 tips I gave, but you guys can read through the list, because I really want you to read it and not only just let it sink in, but take action on something. So if you're like, oh, I should do that, write it down. It's better if it's in your words. So yeah, who are you? I already named the 5 to 10 things. So write down who you are. All right. And then what do we do with social media? How do we grow our friends and get to know more people? You join groups. So this is huge. If you just want to type in, you know, Yorkie lovers, there's like 25,000, I don't know, groups out there, or groups with 25,000 people in them. So join a tattoo group if you have tattoos, and share a tattoo picture of what it means to you and how you got that tattoo. Or you can ask a question. I know there's one of my coaches, she has kids she's adopted, and what's cool is she posts a big family photo, and she's actually joined a group, a support group for women of adopted families. And what's really cool is she even said within a day she had like over 100 comments, I think, over 300 likes, and over 100 comments on her one photo. And what was cool is you start to build real relationships with people who are just like you. So welcome to an amazing business that connects you with your best friends, because we can all be connected and we don't even live in the same city. So sometimes people think, oh, I don't know that many people, I can't help that many people. Yes, you can, and this is how. So we're diving right into it. So join some groups. Join at least one group. I recommend 3. You know, if you come up with choreography like I do, way back when I was joining Facebook groups on Zumba and sharing my choreography, and that's how I was building a network even before I realized what attraction marketing was. So we're going to tap into that for you. You know, whether you have dog lover, cat lover, tattoos, you are, adopted family mom, you share recipes, there's so many different groups. So again, write down your brand, look up some groups, some DIY groups. Those are super popular as well. Personal development groups, Bible study groups, tons of groups. Think outside the box. So you're going to join those groups and you're going to post in those groups, and whoever is commenting, you always comment back, and then you add them as a friend. And when they add you back, what's cool is it pops up in your messenger. Thank you, Facebook, making it easier again for us. What you're going to do is then comment or message them saying like, hey, thanks for accepting my friend request. I just want to say thanks again for your support on my photo in such and such a group, or wherever it came from. And that just opens up the door for conversation, getting to know people, because that's the thing. We don't want to spam and sell to everyone. The first conversation to someone, isn't going to be like, hey, join this right now. It's going to be like, hey, thanks so much for posting that recipe. I just saw you post that. Where did you find it? Or, hey, I saw that you just got back from vacation. Your pictures looked amazing. Where did you guys go? You're starting to build relationships. You're starting to use Facebook as a business, but it's still fun. That's why I never want to stop working, because this is actually a fun job. So use that. How do you find like-minded people? Again, join those groups on Instagram. Use hashtags. Same thing. And the thing about Instagram, if you do have an Instagram, awesome. Do your post there first, because then you can do it from your phone. I think most people use their phone anyway, but add emojis and make sure that you're posting with the filters you want. Your picture should be clear. And a lot of times people look at themselves when they take a picture. You're not going to do that. It's okay if you used to. From now on, you're not. You're always going to look at the camera hole. You'll notice in your photos if you're looking at it. And even when you go live, if you're looking at the screen, people can tell there's a disconnect. So if I was to look down at the screen, it doesn't seem like I'm looking at you, because I'm not. So I have to look at the little tiny dot, and then there's a connection. So do that. What was I saying? So yeah, on Instagram, a big tip for this one is post on Instagram first, so that you can get the right type of filter that you want, the bright, vibrant things that attract your eye, most likely attracts your tribe also. So post with, whatever Instagram filters that you mainly use, and make sure that you copy and paste over to Facebook. If you go to Instagram and you come up with a post, it'll say share to Facebook. Don't do that. And here's why. Because your affinity will not be as good, which just means it's not going to show up on Facebook in as many news feeds, okay? Because Facebook is very selective, and they're like, we only want you sharing from Facebook. So you have to stay here and share things that are involved in Facebook, because once you go outside of that, it takes the affinity down for the outside sources posting in. So if you post from a website and you're sharing a website, or if you're posting from YouTube and you share it on Facebook, it's not going to be seen in as many news feeds. So that's why I always say copy paste. So it shouldn't say shared from Instagram. It should be directly uploaded into Facebook, and you'll get the same photo, because it'll in Instagram, just save it to your camera roll and it'll pop up when you go to upload to Facebook. So social savvy tip right there. Use hashtags that relate to you. Remember, consistency is key. You do need to be showing up every day. Remember, if you opened up a six-figure business, or it took you $100,000 to open up a restaurant, wouldn't you show up every day, making sure it's running, right? Like if you had, maybe your boss and you're not showing up to work, or you're like, oh, we'll get to that later on. Would you fire yourself? Like, you need to realize that if this is your business, you need to show up as a boss, and you take ownership over that. And trust me, it will pay off in the end. So show up, commit to it. In 1 to 2 years, you're going to be like, oh, wow, I am making a part-time to full-time income. Like this is actually working. And you're going to, if you have the right mindset, you're going to be super successful. But consistency is key. It's not going to happen overnight. It might take, longer than 6 months, but it's totally worth it, because people right now are just testing you. They're seeing like, oh, you have an online business? What does that mean? They're a little bit scared. And what happens, and they have a right to be, because even my friends really hesitated joining me in the beginning. But what happened was they started to see my progress, see the recognition I was giving to other people who were also successful, and they started to have that belief. So give it time, okay? It just takes time. I know that's a bad part about this business. It just takes time. But honestly, to grow this business in the amount it took me, it would have taken me 5 more years if I stayed in my studio. And even then I was not breaking even. I was breaking even my first month as a coach. So it's definitely worth it, in my opinion, rather than a brick and mortar. When should you post? You know, whenever it works for you. I mean, there's 2.8 billion people on any social media platform at any given time. That is almost half the entire world. So I know they say morning, lunch, and evening. Usually evenings are best. That's when people are on Facebook. So usually the stats go up from anywhere between 6 to 11 p.m. So, and make sure that when you post, you don't post and run. You try to comment back, because if somebody's willing to comment on your photo, you want to comment back and you want to tag them when you do, so that they get a notification that you tagged them back. You want to keep that conversation going. You want to build a relationship. So definitely always comment back if somebody posts on your pictures. Inbox messaging, I talk about the CCQ technique, which is comment or compliment or question. So again, take it to a message so that you can start to get the conversation going. Like, hey, where did you go? Like, I don't know if you saw my comment. Like, you comment on their photo, but then take it to a message. It's super easy, and it's not invasive to say like, oh my gosh, I loved your shoes. Like, or, you know, like, where did you guys go hiking? You know, look like you guys had a great time. You know, take it, ask a question, or give a compliment. Like, where did you get your hair done? It looks amazing. You know, make it relatable though to you. Friend requesting, you should send about 5 friend requests a day. But again, where do you get that from? Those groups that you join. This is key. And what's going to happen is when you join those groups and you post a photo that relates to that group, then people will comment on it. They might like on it. You're tagging them back and you're friend requesting them. Again, I mentioned that earlier on. Attraction marketing, when you start attracting people to your page, that's a cool feeling. Just make sure that they're not, you know, also Beachbody coaches, because you're going to run out of friend space. Even though right now you're like, I only have 200 friends. That's okay. Trust me, in a couple of years, you are going to have a full Facebook, and you want to make sure that it's not of just coaches, because that's too many. Like, we can't help each other out. I mean, not as much. So you want to make sure that it's not full of people that are, you know, network marketers that are like, but I'm trying to switch you to isogenics. Don't go down that route. Let's see, go live and use Instagram stories. I am not as good with Instagram stories as I need to be, but make it fun. That's what people like to see, real life. You know, it doesn't have to be about, all right, hey, do you want to come to my next challenge group? Don't talk about that. Talk about, you know, playing video games. Talk about going hiking. Talk about the game that you're at, and then maybe ask a question. Just make it fun. Make it about real life. You know, you can share a little bit about, like, you know, in your challenge group, if you want to show, like, you know, go live and share the challenge group, maybe to just say like, I'm so proud of my group. Look at, you know, or look at my teammates. We're kicking butt this month. This is so fun. You know, if you want to get in on this, you know, I'm here as your coach. So that could be a call to action, but sprinkle it in, you know, 80-20 rule. What else did I? Yeah, 80-20 rule. That was the next one. So remember, 80% of your posts should be free, valuable, shareable content, and the other 20% should be, you know, those call to actions, CTA as we call it. And that should be an invite to your next virtual fit club, or even potentially an invite to coaching, because you want to team up with cool people and run these awesome groups together. I know that's intimidating in the beginning, but eventually we'll get into that as you start to build your business, which is really fun because you get to work with your best friends. So instead of looking at it like a scary thing, think, hey, I'm new at this. I really think this is awesome though, because we get to be in a group together and come up with ideas and work on our fitness as accountability buddies. So do you want to do this with me? Because I think it'd be so much fun to start this from the ground up together. You know, so if maybe message somebody and ask them, you know, your closest friends. I did that to my sister. I did it to Eddie, made him sign up right away. So seriously, think about messaging like 3 to 5 people that you're like, hey, I think they would really rock at this. It's a compliment. Even people in my classes that were rocking Zumba, I was like, oh my gosh, you're so good at this. Have you ever thought about becoming an instructor? Like, it was a compliment telling them that. And it's a compliment telling you guys, like, I think you could really rock this, because it's so fun. It's encouraging. You get to help people and you get to make money. Like, this is a great job. So remember, it's a compliment when you say, I think you could make a really great coach. You remind me of my coach, and it's so fun teaming up. You know, have you ever thought about this? Just ask a few people. You might be surprised at who will say yes. Need help finding who your brand is. And I gave a whole bunch of examples. In a month, your friends should know what your favorite season is, the way you relax, your family life, where you're from, your favorite TV shows or movies, your favorite color, if you're introverted or extroverted. I wrote down if you drink alcohol, if you're vegan, if you're vegetarian, if you like romance novels. I don't know about that. I don't know. I just wrote random. If you like sports team, which sports team, if you play video games, if you love to dance, if you hate to dance, when you like to work out. If you like to plan things, if you're an organized person, if you're a slacker and you like to sleep in like I do, what type of music do you like? You know, if you like fashion, and the list goes on and on. So that is your brand, and that's also what you want to share on social media. You should use it as you're talking to your best friends, because you're building these relationships. Share it like you would call up your best friend and just be like, oh my gosh, I found this hilarious thing. I need to send it to you. It's so funny. Post that on social media. Seriously. It's not scary, and it can be super fun when you get out of your own way. Trust me on this. So yeah, that is mainly what I wanted to talk about. Couple things going forward. Do not talk about Beachbody. You can call it my virtual fit club workouts. You can call it your healthy milkshake when you're referring to Shakeology. But what happens when we say Beachbody or Shakeology? People know at least one coach who is doing it the wrong way, and then they're going to associate that bad coach with you, and that's not what we want. But that's what's really hard about this business, because there were so many people doing it right, and then there's so many people doing it wrong. So we need to prove to people, this is how we do it, and we're doing it the right way, and we're not coming across spammy at all, okay? You with me on this? Because I think we can go pretty far when we do it the right way. All right, so that is it. Read through it, and make sure your action step is going to be you posting below, in the comments below, just a screenshot of your post that you just did. It should be something that relates to you and your brand. It does not have to be about fitness or nutrition. Nothing Beachbody. We already talked about that. We're never saying Beachbody. Make sure that you post something that's relatable to you. And one last thing, make sure that your profile is public. Instagram should not be secret or private, and Facebook should not be secret or private. I know some people are scared of that, but honestly, this will make your business that much easier, because when you join groups and you go to friend request someone and then it shows up as like not even a profile photo, I can guarantee they're not going to friend you back. So you need to make sure that your profile is public. If you want to stop sharing as much about your kids, I mean, that's entirely up to you if you're a little bit more private. But this is your business, and this is your brand. This is your storefront, and you want to make sure that people know who you are so that they can learn how to trust you, because people need to know you and trust you before they ever buy anything from you. And so trust me on this. Okay, well, I'm going to let you guys go. I will see you tomorrow for more on Facebook lists, time saver. And we're going to do different tips and tricks and some of my favorite apps that I use, and you guys can also use as well to save you time and just to make social media more fun. So yeah, you guys are doing great. Hang in there. Ask us any questions, and don't forget your action step. Comment below with your post. All right, I will talk to you guys later. Have a great rest of your night, okay? Bye.